which is how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about
that's
all
what you,
of these
I'm
people.
sorry,
You know what I
that's
think
what you
is
said.
horrible?
You said,
Well, but you know
you
what's
said
horrible?
that
When
it's
people
okay.
be.
In Matthew chapter 22, verse 36, Jesus is asked a question. Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law? Verse 37, Jesus answers, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and foremost commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend the whole law and the prophets. Verse 39, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Isn't it time that every one of us stopped just quoting this verse and started living by this verse? At the very core of who we are not white. We are not black. We are not Republicans. We aren't Democrats. And as much as I love my country, we are not Americans. As the scriptures tell us in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7, we are men and women created in the image of God, formed out of the dust of the earth, given the breath of life. That is who we are. So why does our country seem so divided? Perhaps it's because we've forgotten the second commandment from Jesus, to love our neighbors as ourselves. Instead, too many have taken the personality and the attitude that we are warned about in James chapter 2, when we are warned not to look at the outward appearance of others, but to look on the inside. If we ever want our families and our communities to be unified, we must begin to do two things. The first is to follow that first commandment from Jesus, to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your mind. Remember, we show the Lord that we love Him not just by our words, but by our obedient actions. The second thing that we must uphold is that second commandment, that Jesus asked us to love our neighbors as ourselves. In other words, we must start seeing past someone's skin color or their political affiliation, and we must begin to see them as who they are. They're eternal souls that have been created by God. My hope is that today, that each one of us will reach out to someone around us, perhaps someone we know, perhaps someone you've never met, and show them kindness, show them love, even if they are your perceived enemy. Uphold this commandment and love your neighbor as yourself. If we begin to do that, then we'll be a better community. May God continue to bless you as you seek His truths.